Chapter 20. We've been playing this role-playing tabletop game for 5 months now, and there's been more drama and excitement than you can shake a stick at. Indeed, there's been so much fun that I still haven't uploaded Chapter 19 to my YouTube channel yet. At least that's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. I think last session ended on the morning of Tuesday, April 28th, 1998. I'll provide a brief recap of what happened last session for everyone. Hooray. Duke Wiley, the most powerful and respected anarch in the city, who serves as Callahan's enforcer, made a private visit to Joseph Chung and informed him that Jermaine Wallace was helping the anarchs solve some issues. David Green, by command of the ink-black rock beating inside of him, ventured beneath Central Park once more to see what he could learn about Vsevolod Cerveni. Roy Dufford, who had been slated to become the new deputy inspector of the 114th Precinct after Mikhail Vargas, suddenly retired, citing an increased interest in spending time with who was really important in his life. Joseph managed to let slip that the anarchs were ghoulifying law enforcement officers across New York City. Everyone rushed to tattle on the anarch movement. Archon Theo Bell was not amused. After finding a deep shaft tunneled down to a Z level beneath the mansion itself, David discovered that Vsevolod still existed in the world. Citing the value of the experiment, the Tzimisce fiend allowed the Nosferatu to leave with his own life, with the explicit command that he could not reveal what he had learned. A chance encounter with the Archon revealed to the rest of the coterie that David had gone beneath Central Park. The Nosferatu attempted to warn them about what he had discovered, but the Geese made his words flat and sardonic. Only Joseph managed to get any sense that David might have been fighting some kind of compulsion. Naturally, the Malkavian then tattled to the Archon about David. With Commissioner Dominic Gressman already under the control of Germain, the coterie did some research and unearthed their next candidate for deputy inspector, homicide detective Albert Farnsworth. In this session, they might go about the process of replacing the dependable and dedicated Vargas. But let's see for ourselves, shall we? Before we get started, I'm making 2 changes to the game. I'm not afraid to roll back and redact prior rulings and interpretations of the game system. This is my first time playing a dedicated White Wolf campaign, let alone being a storyteller. So we're changing how vampires wake up during the night. Maybe they go into some sort of crazy hibernation mode during the winter because there are more night hours, and the lazy beast enjoys resting and blah blah, insert flimsy justification here. What's important is that now, for every humanity you are below 10, you will rise a half hour after dusk instead of an hour. Furthermore, none of you folks, not the Ventru, not the crazy Malkavian, not the Toreador, not the Nosferatu, ended up losing a point of status at the end of last session. We're going through such small pieces of time that there really isn't an opportunity for negativity to stink in right now, especially on the wave of what you all have done to be recognized. Status in Camarilla society often isn't merit-based, but in this case, exceptions are being made. Whether you like it or not, most kindred in the city know the 4 of your names, and they perhaps even know your faces. But you'll have to decide whether it's actually a good thing to be talked about. In Joseph's case, given how there are still lingering whispers about his sire, and about the fact that he's Malkavian, and about the fact that he stood outside the Archon's door for hours, well, there's no need to be paranoid, right? So the 4-player characters wake up several minutes before 10 p.m., instead of before midnight. David, no external influences to your knowledge affected you while you were asleep, but the curious phantom pulse that had been bothering you for so long has stopped, and you're no longer getting the free blood perk. Marcus, you are once again awoken during the day by soft giggling scratching at the limit of your senses. You also find yourself hungrier than normal. Mechanically, you're missing 2 blood points instead of 1. Maybe all the interruptions has resulted in needing extra blood to animate. As for Byron and Joseph, your nights are about as routine and awesome as they are wont to be. I'm done.
Well, all right then. So, Marcus, upon waking up, will probably dial up David And walk outside.
Hello?
Marcus. Wait. Why would I say my name? David. We gonna do that thing with Albert Farnsworth or whatever the hell his name is tonight?
I thought we were going to do something with IA.
I thought we were gonna do something with both of them.
Then yeah, sure.
I mean, you just like want to gather up and, Okay. Okay.
Do you want to meet at Astoria Estates first, or do you want me to
Let's
just go on ahead and break into his place?
let's meet at Astoria State like 10 minutes and just say what we're gonna do real quickly.
All right.
After we got that down, we can, break huddle and get to work.
And are we still not telling Joseph yet?
As far as I know.
All right. I'll tell Byron.
All right.
And David's going to call up Byron.
Hey, what's the haps?
Don't start talking like that. Anyway, me and Marcus are meeting up at Astoria Estates to talk about how we're going to handle the Farnsworth situation. I'm probably just going to end up breaking into his place tonight, but we want everyone on the same page. You want to stop by, or you want us to just handle it?
That's up to you. If you think you will need my help in any regard, then I can come along. Or I can start trying to follow up the City Hall lead, or try to find a lead in City Hall.
Do that one. I think that you're better equipped for that.
Sounds good. Let me know if anything comes up, need my help with anything.
Of course, especially if I need someone have their memory tampered.
Right. Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
I mean, it's a pretty clean way to cover something up. I hope if it comes to something, it comes to that.
Fair enough.
Click.
Yep.
I think we just hop your tokens onto the Astoria Estates map.
You can do that. And Joseph, of course, you woke up. It's a beautiful Tuesday evening. There's no moon outside, new moon. Stars are twinkling though. It's not raining. It's not exceptionally chilly. It's a nice night.
I think classes. Nothing else. Nothing I can do with the place. Nothing I can do to secure anything more. So yeah, classes.
All right. Joseph goes to edumagate himself.
Now we're just waiting for Byron.
Oh no, he's not coming.
He's not coming?
No, he's following up the City Hall lead, or trying to find a City Hall lead to follow up on.
Alrighty then. So what's the plan, besides you breaking into the guy's place?
I'm thinking that we can get you a pair of binoculars or some sort of telescopic sight to watch me from a block or two away. Give me a heads up if someone's coming in.
Alright,
Unless
sounds like
you have nothing else to do tonight.
Not that I know of.
All right. If someone's coming, just call me. I'll feel a buzz and I'll leave.
Alright.
Let's go for vantage point for you.
Okay. And Marcus and David rush off into the night. I think.
I mean, we have the guy's address from last time, right?
The correct one, the one that says not in East River.
That's the one.
Assuming that Byron gave that to you while he was sitting next to you guys after he finished his call, yep.
Yeah, I
All right.
said that he was like 4 rooms away or something like that in the same building. So let's just assume that I told him the number as well.
Then David at least is gonna head over that way and start casing the place and seeing if there's a good vantage point for Marcus.
Alright, give me a perception plus larceny difficulty 5, Aaron.
Alrighty. Does trained observer count?
Yeah, if it's for like a vantage point type situation, sure.
3 successes.
You get to the locale. It's not that far, as I noted, from Astoria Estates itself. Look at about 7 stories. The Detective Albert Farnsworth lives on the 4th floor. It's a middle-class place, although you could argue that it's pushing closer towards the lower middle-class region than the upper middle-class region. And of course, in this gritty, realistic world of pain and despair, there's obvious signs of ruination and degradation, and the crumbling facade of the building, and all sorts of other goth punk bullshit to fantasize in this rather peaceful and calm night. Most certainly Marcus can acquire a reasonable enough position from which to watch.
All right.
It doesn't even require any sort of out-of-the-way, climbing or what have you. There's enough obstacles. Well, not obstacles. There's enough sort of sidings or utilities he can use to gain access to a vantage point.
I mean, there might be a fire exit ladder thing.
Most certainly.
Yeah. Just, I guess I take up the vantage point and, well, I might need the binoculars, but my eyesight's already pretty good anyways.
It's true. I was wondering where these magical binoculars are going to come to play, and I'm like, well, Marcus already has them, right?
Yeah, and David can leave
I mean,
a small pair of binoculars there as well if they'd be useful.
maybe. I'm not gonna say it won't be useful.
All right, then take them.
All right.
Alright. Okay, since, we're doing this for funsies, everyone, go ahead and give me a perception plus alertness check at difficulty, I suppose 4 for you, because it's sight-based. Marcus?
2 successes?
Alright, this section of Astoria, especially, given how it's, now we'll say about 10:30, 10:35 of the time you guys had organized, because it wasn't that far. It's pretty calm and peaceful. Not a whole lot of activity on the roads, and certainly no one who's walking the streets. There might be 1 or 2 stragglers, like a bum poking around like an alleyway somewhere, or you might find a stray orphaned animal sort of rummaging around in trash, but no one who notices you, and even if they did notice you, no one who appears they would care. Certainly no one who can see David, or at least, if they're seeing David, they're doing a great job of not reacting to him.
All right, and what floor is this guy's apartment on?
4th floor. We'll say 4th floor, 4B.
Okay, and Does it look like there's fire escape access from the apartment, or is it hallway access?
It's apartment access.
All right, then David's going to climb on up and see if he can get a window open.
Alright, the pulling down the ladder ends up being a minor tug. Rusted, disused, has not been accessed for quite some time, but David is an incredibly powerful individual, and accessing and leaping up there and reaching the fourth floor is no difficulty. How does he go about making his ascent?
He's going to go more for being careful and slow than anything else.
Alright, go ahead and give me a dexterity plus stealth at difficulty 5. It's a little rickety and creaky up here.
Sure thing. Oh, and is Marcus far enough away to not be affected by the obfuscate?
Well, depends. He can be either or, however you chose to position him.
I got a question. What's your level of obfuscate?
2.
Marcus has Aspectory.
It's still not a guarantee that you'd actually be able to see him through the
Yeah.
obfuscate. You'd have to make a roll for it.
Yeah. Just saying.
But like I said, it can be either or. Do you want him to be so far away that he could see you, the obfuscate wouldn't apply, or you want him to be close enough that he would have to roll to see you?
Well, I'm not really sure how far away that is.
The vantage point, I'm assuming, is across the street.
That's a good question. I actually want to open the book on this one. I don't remember the obfuscate range off the top of my head. It might be like maybe 5 to 7 yards or meters per point of obfuscate. You got me. Let me check the discipline page. I feel like doing some research.
This might just be one of the things that White Wolf doesn't have anything listed down.
Typically, vampires using obfuscate must be within a short range of their witnesses, approximately 5 yards per dot of wits plus stealth, for their power to be effective. So, how many dots of wits plus stealth do you have?
4.
In that
So I
case,
gotta be within 20 meters.
he'd have to be outside of 25 yards, yeah. Excuse me, yeah, not 25, 20. Yeah, you were right with your number.
And this is probably a 2-lane street, maybe a 2-lane street, so I'm within that range.
So you can definitely manage to 20 yards. It'll be fine.
Alright, so you said that stealth check was difficulty 5?
Yeah, dexterity plus stealth is difficulty 5.
So yeah, I got 5 successes.
Alright. You are as nimble and as stealthy as a cat. Padding up the stairs.
Meow.
And inevitably end up reaching the window.
Alright, I'll give the window a firm push and see if it's unlocked.
Naturally, it's locked. As a matter of fact, it's barred from the outside.
Well, shit.
Something that wasn't easy to see, given the dim lighting and as you hadn't turned on your eyes at the beast. But getting closer, yeah, those are bars on these windows.
Yeah, fair enough. In that case, I'm
Which
going to...
brings to a really curious sort of question of, what the fuck's the point of the fire escape?
There isn't one. It's just there because it's New York and it looks cool.
Yep. This building, you would definitely say, very easily does not meet code, and apparently the owner might have some pull and has not been carded or called for it. Slumlord bastard.
Man, what a great place.
Apparently 2 prestigious homicide detectives live here.
Looks like we just stepped into the wrong part of Astoria.
Dun dun dun.
You mean we walked 4 doors down?
Yeah. Alright, in that case I'm going to,
I mean, the
climb
bars are, you could totally fucking remove those. That's certainly within your power as David Green the Nosferatu.
Oh, sure, but I mean, if we're not necessarily ghouling him right here, right now, tonight, that might be a bad idea. In that case, I'll head back down to ground level and try and scope the place out, see if they've got security cameras.
Alright. Given how perceptive you were with your sort of larcenous type thing, nah, no security cameras in this place.
Alright, is anyone at the desk watching the front door right now?
No desk?
So they've just kind of got mailboxes on the outside then?
Yeah.
Alright.
The mailboxes are, of course, locked. I mean, it's someplace where you could just kind of, like, meander in.
Then I guess I'll kind of, like, meander in.
Nothing stops you.
And I'll head up to the 4th floor, find apartment 4B, and see if I can't pick that lock.
Alright, the imposing wooden door, mighty in its stout, impeccable frame, looms before you. And the door is locked, both with the simple knob lock, and as it turns out, it has a chain on the back.
Really?
Indeed.
That means he's home.
That means that someone is in there that has put that chain up, yeah.
I see. Well, in that case, I'm going to, How do I tell this from the outside anyway?
Well, you're a perceptive enough guy with your sort of larcenous type thing. It's going to be a simple job for you to pick the lock, but the moment you try to open it, you'd see the glint of the chain and be like, well, fuck.
Alright then, I'll head back out, climb back up to where Marcus is, and say, hey, he's in there.
You sure?
Well, the chain's pulled.
Then how are you gonna get in?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
But, I think if anyone's going in there tonight, they should be intent on making him a ghoul.
I mean, we could do that night.
We certainly could.
I think we should.
Alright, and we agreed on it being you, right?
I thought I was the IA.
I don't know, honestly.
I mean,
I'm not sure what the whole
if you want it
arrangement's
to be
supposed
me, then I can. If you want it to be me, it can be me. But yeah, it could be me. I mean, I'll do it.
It's up to you.
I mean, I could probably ease all my way in, theoretically.
I mean, that's certainly a lot less hostile than what I was going to do.
Yeah, but I'm not actually very full of blood right now, and then I have to, put him under the vinculum.
That's a dirty savant word.
I have to make him, permanent.
For realsies.
I like it.
I mean, if you don't want this responsibility, I can do it. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of prefer it that way, even if it, might make Joseph all the more angry.
You
But
just
it's
go
up to
ahead and
you.
you just go ahead and do it, and I can, I can get us in the door, I guess.
All right, if you're sure about that. I'm there to back
Yeah,
you
I
up either
am.
way.
I mean, you're gonna be able to ghoul him, but I'm just gonna get the door open so the way it's easier. And it doesn't, raise suspicion.
Of all the days to leave my thermos full of blood in my fridge.
You've only had it for a day now?
Of all the days.
How far away is your haven?
Not too far. I could probably be there and back in about 15 minutes.
Go ahead, unless he decides to leave in the next 15 minutes.
In
Don't
which
think I'll
case he'll
change anything.
text me. Or call me.
Text? What is this text you
What
speak?
is this fabled texting of which you speak? Yeah, in
That's
which
cray
case he'll call
cray.
me. That's cray cray in the bearing K.
That's right. Well, Marcus, go ahead and roll a 1d2 for me. Okay. So David departs to rush back to his haven to retrieve the sacred thermos.
I should have that thermos fucking gilded.
Managed to get there without incident, and it is quite some blocks though. But with David able to put on some afterburners, I assume he moves at a brisk pace.
I mean, David could sprint the entire way there if he wanted to.
Most certainly. I mean, it's quite a many blocks.
But yeah, he'll move briskly and then get the thermos, move briskly back.
Right. Crimson, what's Byron doing?
Well, I'm going to head over to City Hall. I'm going to assume there is a parking garage or something like that. It's around, what, 10 o'clock?
Well, by the time you got there, it'd be closer to 11.
Well, yeah, it's a little late, but I'll try it anyway. I'll try to sit there and see if I notice anyone coming out. My intent is to awe someone coming out and ask them, I basically tell them that I am working on a fluff piece for a newspaper, and I'd like any tidbits of gossip they may know about the interpersonal relationships in the office and that type of thing. So we'll see if anyone comes out, and I can do that. Even if it's a security guard, it might be good enough.
Okay. Byron goes to do that. Somewhere off in Manhattan land. With all of the big people faces. So, like some time passes. David ends up just being about 2 blocks away. Marcus, being observant and attentive, notices that sort of rushing now out of the front door is a portly gentleman, sort of wearing a tweed jacket, got a hat on, rushing through, has his keys dangling in his pocket, looking very harried as he sort of rushes out onto the street. From the pictures in David's file, you would guess that this would be. He looks more rotund than he did in the photos, but it looks like this would be Albert Farnsworth.
Well, Marcus will call David and say Mr. Farnsworth is leaving.
All right. Well, at least that means I can scout his apartment out.
Indeed.
The very rushed detective appears to find a four-door car, hop into the driver's seat, and you think you can hear curses faintly on the wind as he zips off.
Which way was he heading?
Seems like he's heading towards central Astoria. Perhaps towards the precinct. Maybe towards a crime scene. Maybe to get a bagel. Bagels are important.
Marcus will remember this and keep watch around the
Hey,
area
I mean,
just to see if he...
I'm sure there's some 24-hour bakeries open.
Alright, David returns to the apartment.
All right. Well, David will head on up and see if he can get into the apartment.
Yep, chain's not there, and the lock is so pathetically easy. David has no difficulty opening the door.
Cool. David's going to explore the place. Closing the
Okay.
door behind him.
Alright, walking in, the apartment looks disheveled. That'd be a word. The interior looks about as rough on the inside as it does on the outside. Moreover, it doesn't seem that this gentleman, Detective Farnsworth, has much in the way of wall decorations. Like people normally have knickknacks, photos, or posters, or something they hang up on the walls. But these walls are all bland, either as if, say for example, maybe he moved in recently, or maybe it's just he doesn't spend a lot of time here, or maybe he just doesn't care about it at all. You have piles of clothes sort of strewn about, another replacement sort of tweed jacket with a wide brim hat, cast over a sort of ratty sofa, a coffee table stacked with cartons of basically empty cartons of food that have been eaten sometime in the past. None of it looks too old, perhaps just sometime within the past week. There's also a waft of reminds you of the Deputy Inspector Vargas's place, your friend Mikhail. That there's just this waft of garlic that sort of permeates the house whenever you breathe in.
Delicious.
Yeah.
All right. David's going to see if he can find any concealed weapons, see if he can figure out which foodstuffs do and don't get used relatively quickly. See if there's any computer or something here.
Alright, give me a perception plus investigation difficulty. For all that stuff, we'll say 7.
Trained observer?
I don't know. Are you trained to discover which box of cereal has been eaten and which box of cereal hasn't been?
I mean, yeah, I was thinking trained observer really tends more to apply to being trained to pick details out of environments.
That's fair.
So, 5 successes?
5 successes. Uh, there is, sort of, looking around, David can notice, the detective has a combat knife, in his bedroom, below the pillow. And sort of in that same location, maybe this might be his primary weapon, or maybe it's a backup weapon, or who knows. But the only other weapon he ends up finding is perhaps something that Marcus would enjoy seeing. Uh, say, David might not exactly be too familiar with this, only that it's not standard issue for police officers. It is a Glock, but whereas New York City police departments tend to go with either, say, a Glock 19 or a 26, which are pretty small, slim, and compact, this appears to be some sort of machine pistol with an extended magazine.
Huh. And
It's
that's the
got
only
a
firearm in the place?
it's the only firearm. There's like a front rail mounted tactical light featuring a dimmable xenon white light as well as a red laser sight. And the rear sight appears to be made out of adjustable self-illuminating tritium.
Hmm. Maybe paranoid, maybe it's just the one good gun that he has. Odd, though. Alright.
It's also possible that he might be carrying around a sidearm with him right now, so...
Right, it just seems odd that he would have such a tooled-out firearm and there not be any additional ones if he's a collector. It suggests things, at any rate.
Yeah, he does not appear to be a collector of any sort. No other firearms. Looking around, there appears to be some other accessories, like a stock, which you would use to attach onto this machine pistol Glock. So you could use a sort of, you could brace it against your shoulder for a better accuracy. If
Right,
you're firing it on full auto.
He's basically turned a Glock into an SMG.
Yeah. It's the sort of modifications are legitimate. Dave would be familiar enough with that, and that it's something that would be issued. It's just not standard issue. This would be something that he dipped his own money into.
Right. Alright, and foodstuffs-wise?
Foodstuffs-wise, appears that he primarily eats takeout. There are some sort of remnants of what he'd use to fix coffee. He's got some creamer and some whole milk in the fridge and some sugar. There's a few unopened boxes of just some brand hokey cereal. And you got frozen foodstuffs.
Alright. Okay. Then he's going to look for personal effects. Obviously his file says he doesn't really have much in the way of immediate family, but see if there's anything denoting any particular circles of friends, anything like that.
Right. It's difficult to find in that he doesn't keep any pictures on the walls. In the bedroom, though, there is a small photo album that he keeps in a plastic container beneath the bed, which, perhaps compiled either by himself or by a past loved one or, maybe a family member, depicts him through various stages of life, hanging out with friends. It seems that he does, there are pictures of him firing the modified Glock machine pistol.
Alright, so he's at least on some level an enthusiast. You wouldn't take pictures like that if you weren't proud of it.
It's possible that it's just as babby.
You're the only family I need, Glock.
Yes. The Glock 18C, you're my only friend.
You'll see me through these hard times.
Hold me close, you 33-round magazine, you.
Alright.
I need your 1200 RPM to comfort me at night.
Gross. Anyway, I guess David will lock the front door and give Marcus a call.
Marcus, you got a phone call.
Yellow.
Picked over the place. Mostly orders takeout. Has a modified machine pistol in his room. Doesn't look like he spends much time here. I'm thinking about staying here a few hours, see if he comes back during that time.
Doing what in that case?
Jumping him when he gets in.
All right.
I think
You want me
that I
to?
can...
You want me to
Go
stay
ahead.
here? You want me to stay here watching?
That's up to you. I would definitely prefer that, but you don't have to if you don't want to. If you got anything else to do.
I got nothing to do right now. No one haven't received any calls from Joseph or Byron, so I'll stay here and watch, provide Overwatch.
Sounds good. And call me if he's coming. I'd appreciate that.
Will do.
And David's going to try and find a good ambush point near the door. And he's also going to make sure that anything that he's touched is now undisturbed and wiped for prints.
All right.
Not going to want to, give anything away.
Byron, you arrive in lower Manhattan. Of course, despite the fact that it's dark and city employees are not going to be working at such a late hour, what you would notice is that the son of a bitch is fucking beautifully well lit. It being lower Manhattan, New York, at a time where not many people can have such luxury lighting. Looking at that beautiful parking garage there with its pillars preventing easy access for people to drive into, and that son of a bitch security guard who appears to be sort of balding in his 40s. He's looking at a portable television in there, that bastard. He's not even paying attention to the road.
Well, dang it. Yeah, I was just hoping someone would be working late, but generally past 10 is ridiculous. So,
Other than the security guard, I mean, there's definitely some cars spread out through the city sort of parking roads that you can kind of glimpse into. It's kind of one of those underground thoroughfares due to, lack of premium space in Manhattan. Parking garage for this one is kept underground, but it seems the only sort of state employee or city employee who's working is that guy who it's you can't hear him from inside his booth. It's kind of made of glass, but he's laughing at the TV.
right.
Oh, you 90s sitcom family, what will you do next?
It's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Oh my gosh.
But looking around, this would not be something that, say, Byron's not exactly sure how something like Obfuscate would work, how David and Joseph do it, but considering how well lit this is and how expansive and extensive the City Hall grounds are and where it is located, I mean, you'd have to think that if anyone were trying to be invisible on this approach, they'd be seeable anyway, and there's definitely going to be cameras stationed around. So Byron's definitely going to be visible and noticeable whatever he does, even if the security guard doesn't see him, which he definitely won't.
Right. What I'm thinking of is I'm trying to debate whether I even bother going in or if I just ask the security guard using awe and stuff, whether there's like a bar or meeting place that a lot of the City Hall employees and functionaries go to, which is often the case with this type of thing. I just don't know if he would know.
It's possible not. It depends on, the extent of his knowledge and whether he actually socializes with these people or whether he just stares at his telly.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Mainly, I mean, getting the information, if he has it, I don't think is that tough. What the heck? He's just a security guard sitting in a booth. Byron will blush up and try to awe him and ask him, say, hey, I'm trying to find a friend of mine that works here in the office. I got into town late, and I'm wondering if you know if there's like a, no, dang, cell phones. That would be the obvious response. Whatever. I'm just going to ask and see if there's a place to that a lot of the City Hall folks hang out, because I'm just going to say that I'm working for a local paper, and I'd like to meet some of them off the clock, if that would be possible.
Right. Walking closer to the booth, the facial features become more readily apparent. He definitely is a portly gentleman, balding, probably in his 40s. Sort of has apparently like created his own seat for crumbs of food to collect on his otherwise pristine sort of security uniform vest. Attracting his attention will reveal sort of like piggish eyes, the curious like sort of squatted and scrunched up sort of posture that he has. There's no even need for a roll for the all though. You can just go ahead and spend the blood point. He is not quite the type that is going to be hard to impress one way or the other. He'll just go, huh? Sort of stare at you a little vacuously. Byron sort of imagines like a little curl of drool coming out of the corner of the mouth. And as it turns out, what he is watching is some sort of 90s sitcom.
Lovely. Well, Byron will ask. He will say, I'm working for a local paper, and I just was wondering if there's a place that I could, like a local watering hole or something, that people at City Hall, like the secretaries and stuff, might go to after hours.
I'm sorry, Mr. Reporter, sir, but, I mean, he makes grandiose gestures with his hands, a fat man in a little booth. They just go all over the place. All I get to is I just watch the cars come in and out, man.
Huh. All right. Well, thanks for your time then.
Absolutely, you have a good day, sir.
Yeah, Byron will shrug and move off. I'm assuming City Hall is locked up if he walks to the front of it.
Oh yeah, it definitely would be. There'd also be guards in there, though, if you want to try to attract their attention.
Yeah, I just don't know how. I mean, I'm trying to think of tax to do it. See, the whole reason I'm down here doing this is that ordinarily I would run a web search and kind of find a list of who's there and try to figure out where they live from that. But Byron can't use computers, so I'm trying to figure out a way to find information without using a computer.
And it's, the 90s. That level of information isn't as readily available yet.
You can go to the City Hall website, and it would give you like a listing generally of not everybody, but it would tell you probably the people in the office, and maybe their secretary's name as a contact number.
Maybe so. New York City, the various government departments are, well, it tends to be the case for bureaucracy anyway, rather notorious and sluggish and updating, all of their paper records to be on an online format. Besides, this is the goth punk world of darkness. Only Nosferatu do that sort of crazy internet shit.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess while I'm here, I'll try to all the guard or two in the...
Okay, since the door's locked, you'd be like rapping on the glass trying to get attention from a security guard.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. If they tell me they yell at me or something, I'll just leave. But if they come over and look like they want to talk to me, then I will try to get information from them.
So where's your press pass, Byron?
Well, you will definitely end up attracting attention being this individual who's rapping against the glass. You have someone come about 6 feet tall, dark-skinned, definitely looks to be a much better fit for the security guard position than the Neanderthal you left behind in the booth. Flashlight, you know, comes up to just sort of catch you in the eyes as he opens the door a little from the other side and looks at you. City Hall functions are closed until the morning, sir.
Right, and he'll roll an awe check again.
Alright, this one you'll have to roll for.
Just a sanity check. It is charisma and
Charisma plus performance at difficulty 7.
I always forget about performance. All right, yes, it's 4.
And of course, along with the blood point.
Right, I'll take that off instead.
Okay, Byron uses all. What does he want to do after that?
I'm just going to repeat the question as I did before. I'm going to say I'm looking for a background on a city hall piece. I'm working for a local paper, and I'd like to know where I could, if there's like a local watering hole or something that I could meet city hall functionaries and such off the books, so to speak, just to get to know where to start on the story.
The security man gives it some thought, and he sort of shrugs and says, I don't know where those lobbyists and foolheads go to debate about who they're going to screw next for money. Oh, don't put that in the piece.
You're sure now? I mean, there isn't just some place where maybe they were leaving, and I'll meet you over at Fitzgerald's, or I'll meet you over at this place.
This guy sounds like a fucking anarch to me.
He gives an apologetic shrug, like, I don't pay much attention to them anyway, man. I just walk around. Now, perhaps I could help you more if I knew specifically who you're looking for, but I don't pay attention to where they hang.
Well, in that case,
I mean, I guess there is some hole in the wall. I can't remember the name. It might be a few blocks around here that they go drink in, but it's a rather well-to-do hole in the wall, and certainly wouldn't be my type even if I wanted it. If you're just a reporter, I don't think that you'd be able to get in either.
oh, fair enough. And Byron will do his best to look downcast, and he will actually pull out a $20 bill and hand it to him and said, well, thank you for your time anyway. You have a nice night.
The guard will happily smile and completely forget about you.
Yeah, good. That's the whole point. Anyway, then in that case, Byron will head on over to that well-to-do place.
It's the middleman, isn't it?
It's going to be about midnight, but it should be open until 2, but I don't know. He actually, on second thought, I'm looking at the blood pool. He's going to head back to Astoria and hunt unless he's given a call from someone.
No, you can certainly do that. Go ahead and give me some difficulty 3 rolls for, well, let's go back from that stupid witch plus streetwise thing. Let's go back to something more seductive for Byron Rand, like charisma plus empathy, to get in touch with your inner Rand. That's a winner.
Yeah. How many times do I need to fast forward time? Do any of you planning on calling Byron in the next hour or so?
No.
Marcus has reason to call Byron. Sorry.
There you go.
Well, that's
That
fine.
put
I was just
that put you around 2:30 a.m.
with those two.
Yep.
All right. Then he's done after that.
All right.
All right.
Go looking again at the. Suddenly, Byron has vanished. Byron teleported back to Lower Manhattan.
Oh, it's because I was editing it. That's why.
All right. I mean, I suppose I was. I was just confused. Like I didn't even see a line. How did he do that? For you guys who see David who's lurking in the apartment and Marcus who's standing outside. Been about 3 hours. You're definitely past 3 a.m. He hasn't come back.
Marcus will call David.
David will answer. Hello.
It's been hours, bro. I don't know where the hell he is.
Yeah, he probably got called away in a case.
And he could be up till like 10
Yeah.
a.m. or whatever with the kid.
We'll try again another night. Maybe tomorrow.
All right. See you later, man. Hope you don't have trouble getting out of there because I'm heading out.
Can you just keep an eye until I'm out of the building?
Sure.
And then David will exfiltrate, taking great efforts to leave the place exactly as he entered it.
All right.
And then following it, Marcus will hunt once before going back to the Majestic to get another fitful night of sleep. Or day of sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, David's going to go for a hunt as well.
All right. You thuggish Nosferatu. Give me your wit plus streetwise at difficulty 3.
Thuggish?
Thuggish. Yes. You brute of a vampire, you.
Oh, stop.
Mm-hmm. That's a winner. I like it when you guys win hunting rolls. I hate it when you budge. I have to think of shit. Could put David on the 4:30 track. Joseph? Beyond class, just continuing to sort of, maybe poke around the church a bit, see how things are going, and keep your affairs in line?
Yeah, and feed once.
Alright. Yay, you won the crazy roll. Joseph
Or
will...
lost it, depending on your perspective.
Joseph will catch fragments as he sinks his fangs into a herd skin of just a small girl holding a little plush lion of some sort of Disney character who has a scar along one of his eyes. Was voiced by some sort of British dude. And then the moment fades away. What's Byron going to be doing for the rest of the morning? Just go back to his apartment and sulk and read?
I guess maybe I don't know how well he might practice his breathing alone. Try to work up on so he can impress Marcus with his. As if Marcus gives the flying flip.
His olfactory prowess.
Yeah, exactly. Barring that, he'll just catch up on reading newspapers, current events, and make sure that Not that Evelyn would do anything wrong, but make sure that the business is going on all cylinders and all that type of thing.
Current event-wise, weather being calm and cool and peaceful, that's something to note about. The salaciousness of the impeachment of United States President Cliff Bitten, as we get our impeachment trial in swing. Yeah.
Fantastic.
That is some sort of random celebrity trash. And, nothing much of any particular, merit or interest. At least, Byron will then definitely find some sort of political tidbit like, my goodness, they're trying to do that. Silly liberals. But nothing important in terms of, being a vampire.
Some liberals raided a radio station and made the guy give them an interview. What is this?
Tell me more.
It was the best hour of news ever.
Gadzooks, something must be done.